Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. I'm going to take a look at another figure from Wave 1 of 2012 of the Clone Wars line now. And up next we have Anakin Skywalker. Now let me tell you, if you were expecting a upgrade of the previous 2011 release of Anakin, then you're going to be really disappointed, because this guy really doesn't benefit in any way from the original release. He's not really an upgrade, there's no added articulation. The accessory that's included is a little bit poor, and overall it's more of an alternative figure than an upgrade, because there's nothing really new going on. It is a brand new figure, so we'll talk about all that kind of stuff later on in the review. But as I said, if you're expecting a really major upgrade over the previous release, then you're probably best saving your money and sticking with your original. But I'll let you make up your own minds. Before we talk about the figure though, we're going to take a look at the packaging that he comes in. So obviously we have the new 2012 look to the overall packaging, with Anakin in a very cool pose down on the side. On the back we have an image of the figure, an image of the action feature, and a still from the show. We also have a bunch of mumbo jumbo about the battle game cards and all that kind of stuff, and of course some more figures from this wave as well. Most of these have been reviewed, so do check them out. And of course this figure does indeed come with the obligatory battle game card and display stand, which I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty sick of. I'd much rather see something like the Build-A-Droid concept reintroduced, but this is Hasbro we're talking about, so there we go. Anakin's image on the front, battle game card stand thingy majiggy, and on the back a profile picture of Anakin. So there we go. Okay, onto the figure. We'll talk about the accessory that he comes with first, and I've just dropped the lightsaber once again. Clumsy old me. Just find that. There we go. Okay, so the accessory that he comes with is basically a glorified McDonald's toy, because I hate this thing. It really does look weird. Basically what this is a lightsaber launcher, and obviously what it's supposed to replicate is the motion that Anakin creates in the show when he throws his lightsaber and it goes spinning off. Obviously you can see the lightsaber sculpted into the firing disc, but the attachment that it comes with is just really ugly. This is the trigger at the back, so when you fire it, it does go flying out. I'll shoot it up in the air so you can get a good look and a better idea of the range. In fact, no, I'll fire it at the camera. So yeah, there's some decent range on it, but it's again a feature that's made for the kids and collectors. I can understand why you'd all complain about this thing, because it's not very good. So that kind of goes in the trash, unfortunately. But the figure itself is okay, I suppose. It does look good, but as I said, if you're expecting an upgrade over the previous 2011 release of Anakin, then you're going to be disappointed, because he's more of an alternative to the original. He does have a whole new look to him. He's a little bit thinner, he's not as broad as the original, and there's also some new additions such as soft goods and alternate articulation. I'll not say added, because it has the same articulation as the last one, but it does have some quite peculiar movements. For example, the head is not a ball and socket joint, it's actually a hinge. So if you think back to the Snow Gear Rex and the Saga 2006 Snowtroopers, he has that sort of hinge neck where he looks up and down like so, which is quite a peculiar thing to include on a human head sculpt. It's something that we usually see on helmets rather than human heads, but it's there nonetheless. The head sculpt is reasonable, although it does look a little bit deformed on my version, but that could be just down to the paint that's been applied. I'll zoom in on it in a moment just to give you a better look. In terms of the rest of the body there, he does have ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, swivel forearms, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball hinged knees, and no articulation in the ankles. So as I said, no added articulation really. One cool thing about this figure though is the fact that if you have the 2011 release and this release, and you kind of prefer this one, then you can actually still swap out the hand with the robotic hand that was included with the original, which is quite cool. As you can see there, the Jedi comlink has been sculpted onto Anakin's wrist. So another thing that this figure has is also lower soft goods tunic, which allows for some extra poses. Just get the camera to focus in there. And again, he has been thinned out a little bit, so he's not as broad as the previous release. And as always, we're going to take a big zoom in on this guy and give you a better look at the head sculpt. So there it is. The lightsaber's not getting in the way. Not a bad head sculpt. Obviously the scar is still present, but yeah, the eyes, the way the eyes have been sculpted and the way the face has been painted, he looks a little bit odd, a little bit deformed, but it's really nothing that I'm going to complain too much about. Still a great figure, and I'd recommend picking it up if you want a decent Anakin from the Clone Wars, although again, if you are happy with your original release from 2011, then I wouldn't bother with this guy because there's nothing really beneficial about picking him up. I'll use that word because there's no added articulation, and aside from the sculpt, nothing really new. You know, there's no new outfit. It's just I don't know, bit of a wasted slot in my opinion. I think Hasbro could have done much better and included a brand new character. But it is what it is. So there we go, that's Anakin Skywalker from Wave 1 of 2012 of the Clone Wars. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with plenty more very soon. So until then, as always guys, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.